You know, champs, I'm starting to think that this guy isn't even a real doctor. More like Dr. Disrespect the age of consent. Trying to strike a chord, it's probably an individual. Alright, so you've probably seen the Dr. Disrespect stuff. If you haven't, I'm not here to give you like a full rundown of it. Plenty of people have done that. I just want to talk about it a little bit, share my thoughts on it, and some thoughts on the stuff going on with the Dr. Disrespect orbiters, as I would call them, Nickmercs in particular. So what happened with the doctor? I'll go over a little bit of the facts here. Again, there have been multiple hour-long videos made about the situation. There's just a lot of stuff here. But just to kind of hit the basics, June 21st, an ex-Twitch employee, Cody Connors, who I believe used to be like the head of strategic partnerships at Twitch, tweeted he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at a TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. So the Dr. Disrespect ban from Twitch has been a great mystery up until now. And I think a lot of people probably could read between the lines a little bit. Having a messaging product called Whispers, though, that's really creepy. I don't know about that. So Dr. Disrespect tweeted and responded, "Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract." This is what you say if you are guilty of something. And I'm not saying legally, because obviously there was no legal wrongdoing. But this is just a very sussy way to put this, right? Like, I don't know of an NDA on this planet that would keep him from just outright saying, "No, I was not talking to a minor." He says later on, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the effing internet. I didn't do anything wrong. This has all been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday, boys." So again, like from the very beginning, he's coming out very defensive and just almost annoyed that this is coming up at all. And his whole response to me shows somebody who was never taken this seriously from the beginning and probably never will. And I think that is a big problem. So I think at this point, we were all just kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, what's going to happen next? There's a lot of people that were like totally believed this. And then there's a lot of people who were saying, I think probably rightfully so, that like, hey, we need receipts. Let's wait till we get receipts. But then what I think kind of confirmed it for me was the game studio that Guy Beam helped co-found tweeting this out on June 24th. They said, "On Friday, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam." That's Dr. Disrespect's name. "We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and as individuals, we needed to act, and for this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed, along with our community of players." So Dr. Disrespect would go on to try to characterize this as them like mutually parting ways. This just doesn't seem like that at all to me. He got a message on stream, which seemed to be like the message that, hey, we're parting ways with you. And it was pretty funny to watch. You could tell he was cooked at that point.
"What about quest lines? I know, but you know how we run things here." How we feeling, Doc? Says Roy. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued. Feeling a little fatigued. We came in here, champs. We came in here. High energy. High energy. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just feeling fatigued. Either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene. It's what I need to do. It's time to drive into the sunset, says Swervin. Whew, man, I like your style. It might be time to drive in the sunset, champs. I appreciate all of you.
After that, a Bloomberg article was released saying that they had talked to 3 Twitch employees to see if it's true, and they all said yes, which led on the 25th to Dr. Disrespect posting a tweet admitting to what had happened. And I'm going to read all of it, but this is just... It feels like he's still in his Dr. Disrespect persona, and I think that's the time to fucking drop the act, you know? And again, it just seems like he is very annoyed at this whole situation. The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me, which is ironic because you know that this thing was filtered through legal and PR, and he filtered it himself because he edited it multiple times. So that's bullshit. I just don't know how you can take this guy seriously anymore. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and that, again, that's bullshit because he could have been upfront the moment Cody tweeted. I really don't think that there was anything keeping him from saying this statement right here. It seemed like he was trying to save face and do damage control multiple times before doing this. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual back in 2017? The answer is yes. Hey, as I'm editing this, I realized that I forgot to mention that he edited this tweet multiple times. It looks like at first he did say that it was a minor, and then he switched it to individual, and then I think people caught on to that, and he was like, okay, I just need to go full blown with it, and he edited it back to a minor. So again, obviously not being upfront like he says he is trying to be, not being unfiltered like he says he's trying to be, back into the video. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. And if you've watched To Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen's show at all, this is the exact excuse every single Predator gives.
You know what? I don't want this cookie. I just want to get to the beach.
Come here, just 1 second, sir.
But generic white male won't be going to the beach today. As he heads out the back, he stumbles off the porch right into the arms of the Fort Myers Police Department.
It just is. Like, I don't know why you would fucking say that. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges has ever been brought against me. Now, for a moral standpoint, I absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. And to me, this sounds like it's taking away responsibility from himself, right? Like it sounds like this minor approached him and it was like trying to engage with him, and he was just like he just kind of passively let it happen. It's just, I shouldn't have entertained these. When he is the adult in this situation, he is the one with all the power in this dynamic. This is not taking responsibility in my mind. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. It was more than just stupid, okay? Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on these things and those types of people. Fuck that. It's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Again, this is just like damage control. And this is again like the same excuses that every single PDF file has ever made after being caught. And like we don't know that, Dr. Disrespect. Like, you lied to us. You hid this. You kept it under wraps. We don't know what you're like. We have zero reason to trust you. Okay? And then in the end, he goes on to be like, all my haters, I don't give a fuck about you, and blah, blah, blah. And then indicates that he is going to be taking a break and then coming back. And I think that's a bad idea. I don't think that his ability to provide for his family or make money for his family should be ruined. I think he should be able to work a job somewhere, or honestly, with like the amount of money he already has, he could retire, or he could just be an investor in something and be in the background, make money that way. I don't think that he should keep his platform and keep access to a lot of minors, easy access to a lot of minors. And, I just don't think that should be the case. I think that he should disappear from public view. There's been a lot of other stuff that has come out along with this that I think is very damning for Twitch. And I think that Twitch has a lot of responsibility to bear in this situation. I think that they probably did a poor job protecting minors. I think that we should have known why he got banned the moment that he got banned, because who knows how many times he's done this, since then. I feel like there was definitely probably some wrongdoing on Twitch's part, maybe with reading Dr. Disrespect's messages, or something went on to where there was like mutually assured destruction, and that's why they settled. And so Twitch is just like, there needs to be some fallout for Twitch on this as well. But also, it seems like this was not a one-off issue, that this was a big issue around this time period, which is part of the reason why he got caught and banned. They really started looking for this stuff seriously, like a week or a couple days before he got banned. And so, I mean, that should have told us right there. But I really think that there's probably a lot of creators out there that are not good people. We've seen a lot of them fall over the past couple of years, a lot of huge names, and there are undoubtedly a lot more that are still famous, that have done some very bad things or are actively doing bad things. And so I think the big takeaway here is do not set any of these creators up on a pedestal in your mind. You don't know them. They don't know you. They don't really care about you. You are a number to them. You are like an idea to them. And I think that a lot of times, like, there's a lot of people who may be good people otherwise, but given a lot of money, a lot of fame, a lot of power, it can just be easy to fall down the path of abusing that power and harming other people. There's been a lot of people, though, that just do not have this view at all and think that Dr. Disrespect did nothing wrong. There's been like a theory passed around, or it's basically like just become like some sort of like common knowledge zeitgeist that this minor was like 17 and 11 months old. And to be clear, we have no information on how old this person was, but they're like, it's not, Sneeko has come out and said like it's weird that 13-year-old boys watch people like Pokimane online, but we freak out when Dr. Disrespect talks to a minor. Again, taking responsibility away from Dr. Disrespect. And this has just kind of become an issue in general, where a lot of these like red pill alpha incel dudes have been questioning the age of consent and saying, hey, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, didn't used to be this way. And we changed those things for a reason, though. And I think it's worth revisiting why we have age of consent laws and why it's generally a good idea to be on around the same developmental level as your partner or somebody that you're romantically engaged with. In most places in America, the age of consent is 18, and I think that is typically a good cutoff. Now, is there something inherently wrong with an 18-year-old being with a 17-year-old? I don't think so. You're pretty much basically on the same developmental level, but we have to put that cutoff somewhere. And I think 18 is a good rule of thumb. During this time in people's lives, though, the amount of development that's happened year to year is just astronomical. So even going back to like 16 is a big difference in development. As then 15, 14, 13, 12. The further down you go, the bigger leap in development that you go. To where as you get younger and younger, like you genuinely cannot consent to intimate activities with an older person. But anyone over the age of like 26, 27, or in your like mid to late 30s, as Dr. Disrespect was, is going to be on a hugely different developmental level than someone who is 17 or even 18 or 19 for that matter. And there is probably going to be some unethical things going on with that relationship dynamic, even if it is 18, 19 and it is legal. But our emphasis, our laws, what we believe as a society should always be focused on protecting people's well-being and not protecting older people's right to fuck underage people or people who are much younger than them. You know what I mean? There was no reason, even if Dr. Disrespect wasn't married and had a kid, there was no reason for him to be talking to a minor of any kind, or even really someone much younger than him, like 18, 19. There's just no reason. They have nothing in common. The only reason for that is to be able to use your age, your fame, your money, your power to influence that person into doing what you want. That is the only reason. And that is wrong. That is unethical. And that ends up harming the person that you are trying to exploit and take advantage of. So while it's probably totally true that Dr. Disrespect is not the worst of the worst kind of PDF file, and that may not even be like something that he struggles with on a regular basis, it is still a fucking serious thing that should not be defended. Like, you don't have to call him the worst of the worst, but you also don't have to simp for him and say, but it, we don't care, or it wasn't that bad. And I think, unfortunately, right now, like, if he had gotten outed when he got banned, I think it would have been much worse for him. I think right now, with just all the shit that's gone on in the last several years, all the stuff that's going on in the world, I think that people are just like kind of burnt out on empathy in general. It's just like, we hear all these new terrible things every day, and it's just like people are just like, I don't care, who cares? And you know, to some extent I get that, but I think that, you know, we should be vigilant in caring and not be apathetic towards stuff like this. I don't really know what else much more could be said about this. He did a bad thing, and I think that he should experience some accountability for what he did, and I think that he should probably stay out of the public eye. Moving on now to some of Dr. Disrespect's orbiters. Hold on. Hello? Oh my god. Another Nickmercs controversy just hit the Pentagon. Nickmercs is another streamer similar to Dr. Disrespect in that they're kind of the old guard that blew up several years ago and have fallen off pretty sharply since. He used to get like 50, 60,000 concurrent viewers on a stream, and last I checked, he pulls around 6,000, which is still very respectable, probably more than I will ever have, but still, you know, falling off quite a bit. And most time I see him on social media is him like shitting on a game or whining about some new game like Helldivers or Elden Ring, and then like a couple weeks, a month later, him and all his buddies are like having a blast playing it, you know, because they got to try to hold on to any sort of relevancy and keep the views up. So, you know, they just want to play their Call of Duty and stuff, and then they just kind of shit on any new game comes along that people enjoy. But when they see that a lot of people are having fun and it's pulling a lot of views, they hop on the bandwagon, which is fine, you know, get your bag. But Nickmercs, though, he kind of built a reputation of being apolitical and showing peace and love for everybody. And that started to change a little bit last year around June 7th. There was an anti-LGBT and a pro-LGBT clash of demonstrators outside of a school board meeting, and the school board was voting on recognizing June as Pride Month, and he said they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And, you know, he's allowed to have that opinion. He is. And there's a lot of people that agree with him. He also lost his skins that he had in Call of Duty. They took his skins down. And, you know, they're allowed to do that too. It's capitalism. Businesses can decide with whom they want to work with, and they made a decision on that, and I think that's fine. I think this is pretty tame, though. This is kind of what you say when you're too much of a pussy ass bitch to just come out and say what you think about LGBTQ people. You know, just come out and say it. Or it's also a tactic by some people to paint them as predatory or predators or pushing an agenda on kids, which can help build like consensus and support for anti-LGBTQ laws and discriminatory practices. So, you know, we saw the mask slip a little bit, and you know, this guy who tried to cultivate a persona of being apolitical and you know, loving, having peace and love for everybody. Fast forward to June 10th of this year, something about Pride Month just really seems to be triggering for him. But he had this to say during a Elden Ring stream.
Nick, the transphobe struggling against the trans game. There's no such thing as trans people. That's something that you created. So have fun with your little dreamland. But that shit's not even real. Let me break it down for you, right? Penis, dude. Vagina, girl, done. Come in here with that fucking trans.
The fucking irony of him saying this as he's playing this like high fantasy video game. Newsflash though, we made up everything. We made up genders. We made up man and woman. Yes, most of the time people are either born with a penis or a vagina. Sometimes people that look like females are born with penises and vice versa. But everything that we've decided goes along with having a penis or having a vagina is all made up. We made it all up. We made up the terms man and woman. It's all fucking made up. And from everything that we can tell from the science, there are just some people that are born with an incongruence in how they feel between the way that they outwardly appear biologically and how they feel on the inside. And it makes their lives better. It makes their mental health better to change in one way or another, whether it's just socially transitioning or physically transitioning as well. It just makes their lives better, and that's how they choose to live their life. And it is a real thing. It is made up, but that doesn't make it less real. And doesn't mean that these people don't exist. They do exist. And while it would be nice for everyone to be allies of transgender people, I realize that's not going to happen. But I feel like the least we could do, especially as large public figures, is not deny the existence of an entire group of people. Later on in the month, he used the T slur, which again kind of points to his dehumanizing views on transgender people, and he was banned for that. And I'll say, as a liberal, I fully support people's right to free speech. I fully support people's right to believe bad things. He has the right to do that, and I have the right to talk shit about him and call him out about it, and everybody else has that right. And under our free market capitalist society, businesses have the right to ban him that work with him. Other businesses have the right to discontinue doing business with him if they choose. I think for the most part, unless someone is causing direct harm, like a Dr. Disrespect or, just something like criminal, for the most part, I don't think that, we should be going and harassing these people or trying to reach out to sponsors to get them dropped or something. The sponsors are aware of what's going on, and it's their decision at the end of the day what they want to do. But yeah, he's free to have those opinions. He's free to say those things. Businesses that work with him are free to react how they want to react. We're free to react how we want to react. It's a pretty cool system for the most part. I think that Nickmercs just has online brain rot around this issue. I think that he gets really annoyed by online activists, and to be fair, a lot of online activists can be annoying, but that is not the majority of people out there who are allies. That is not the majority of people who are LGBTQ. Most of them are just normal ass people who are trying to live their lives and love who they want to love. And to base your opinions off of those people, off of some chronically online activists, is really dumb. It's really dumb, and you shouldn't do that. Probably the most disgusting thing that he's done, though, on June 22nd. Initially, when the Dr. Disrespect stuff was coming out, Nick was somewhat defensive of him, and basically all he said was, we need more information. But Ava Chris Tyson, who is a trans woman and works with Mr. Beast and basically kind of helped found his channel, tweeted at him, quote, "protect the kids crowd," unquote, when someone is a loving parent versus when their boy is currently facing SA accusations. And that triggered him. The frustration of Elden Ring, plus being so incredibly triggered by Pride Month and LGBTQ people, plus this situation, just, kind of made him snap. And this was unhinged. He tweeted back and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done." Mr. Beast would respond to this, defending Ava and basically saying that she is always with her kids and often doesn't come on shoots to spend time with her kids. And her ex-wife also came to her defense and said they're doing great and have always tried to stay out of the public eye because of people like Nickmercs. And just a fucking disgusting thing to say to somebody that you have no idea what the situation is. You do not know what their family life is like. Just fucking gross. I think if you're gonna build a platform off of kind of being apolitical and just, you know, having peace and love for everybody, you kind of need to stay that way. I think that's the best course of action. On Reddit, his Reddit is pretty dead. Been a few posts lately. One here saying that they're kind of happy that he got banned. He barely streamed on there, and if anything, it was his long 30-minute intro and 1 hour of doing nothing. He deserved to get banned. This other one here I thought was interesting. Anyone else kind of disappointed in how he's changed over the past year? I never really thought the cod skin controversy last year with what he said was that big of a deal, but it's clear now that experience completely radicalized him. I've been seeing him on Twitter recently start picking fights, making fun of someone's political beliefs when it's completely irrelevant, and liking questionable conspiracy theory tweets. Like, I disagree with his political beliefs, but I thought he was always respectful of what others believed. Seemed he's kind of changed now, which is kind of disappointing since I used to love his content. This person said, yeah, I don't watch much anymore now that his channel and chat have gotten very political. Judging by the fact that his channel went from 50k plus viewers to around 5k viewers makes me think that I'm not the only one not watching anymore either. Yeah, absolutely. Most people who still watch him would disagree though. I don't like Joe Biden, but hanging out with a bunch of edgy Trumpers in a chat room is incredibly lame. So, you know, it seems like there's been a lot of people over the past couple of years, like Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. They had like specific events in their life that kind of break their brain and they're just like unable to recover. And I think maybe like that one Redditor said that cod skin controversy last year like really radicalized him and is just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. And is kind of falling off since then. And like, I'm not the type that thinks that like anyone that comes out like with a strong stance against pedophilia or against, you know, or like wanting to protect the kids, that like the call is coming from inside the house, because I think there are a lot of people who are just genuinely transphobic, homophobic, and this is kind of like a sanitized way that they can express that. But I also think that it's really weird and not good to be painting a whole group of people as like villainous and as like predatory or groomers, while kind of insinuating that you are the safe space. Like, yeah, those are the bad people, but here we're all good, when obviously with a Dr. Disrespect situation, like that is not true. Nowhere is ever really a safe space unless you truly know someone and trust them. You cannot truly know or trust these streamers, and so I think it's weird. You know, and you know, we've kind of seen this lately with like I'm Alex, always pointing the finger at other people, always villainizing, demonizing other people, while kind of putting up the front that I'm the good person, I'm the safe, good person. And it is a lot of projection, and sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. Even if it's not, though, it's just not good to create that dynamic, because even if like somebody Nickmercs is a safe person, does that mean that the community at large is going to be a safe space? So yeah, Twitch banned him. It seems like there is talks of YouTube possibly dropping him as well. I think that pretty much for as long as he wants to stream, he will have a decent enough audience to make a living off of. Again, I support his right to have his own beliefs and to voice those beliefs. I support my right to voice my beliefs on his beliefs and what I think about them. And I support companies' rights to choose to stop doing business with him if they want to. I think, though, that no matter what your beliefs are, you should believe in being a safe space for everyone. Everyone that is not hurting other people. You should be a safe space for all different kinds of groups of people, religions, nationalities, sexualities, sexual orientations, gender, whatever it may be. Even if you don't believe in gender ideology or that a person can change their gender or be a different gender. Even if you don't believe those things, you should still acknowledge the existence of those people and want to not create more harassment and more harm against them, if that makes sense. So that's all I have for today. If you have anything that you would like for me to commentate on, send it my way. Do like the video, it helps. Subscribe if you like this content. I do politics, religion, and culture. Trying to hit that magic 1,000 subscriber count so can start monetizing. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
Third try, and Baby Assassin brought me a little cupcake as a celebration. So I'm going to eat my cupcake. And there's nothing you're going to do about it, Chance. Nothing.